Talk about stepping up!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the gaming marketplace, where you don't invest your money, but with your time. Hello, and welcome live. Uh, just want to make sure first, can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me just fine? Let's go. Hello, Santa School. How you doing? We can hear you. Oh, perfect. Okay, so we didn't have the issue we had last time, which is great to hear. Um, so yeah, welcome back. We're back to doing some video game analysis, and we'll see how where that takes us. So we can either do straight to the wheel, which I have some there. Um, but additionally, we could just speak about games or anything like that. Speaking of, have you heard about the situation regarding what was it? It's the situation regarding there's a current game that's going through a lot of flack right now. I might to switch over to YouTube since it's laggy with mobile data on Twitch. Okay. It doesn't seem like it's on my end, at least. It doesn't seem like I'm doing wrong. But at least I fixed the multi-stream stuff too. So I'm on YouTube as well. So that's great. We're getting there. We're working, we're fixing stuff, we're doing great. So that's also good. Let me actually, you mentioned that. Let me pull up. I have the YouTube stream up as well. So there you go. So I should be able to see if you decide to text in chat, which should be fine. There you go. Yeah. So other than that, so there was some recent drama, technically with two games. One is Power World, but it's the exact same drama. Just some developments on that end. Um, Basically the Power World has they did get sued by Nintendo from Pokemon about their game, but it seems like they I've seen a couple of like videos going around and a couple of articles going around about them being them being close to win, like having something to win against um win against Pokemon in that case, which is very interesting. I if you ask me, I think that they should be off the hook for the most part. I do agree that there are some games that are very similar to not games, sorry, some pals that are some very similar to the design of some Pokemon. But I think that if they were to just maybe remove those, a lot of the other Pokemon, or a lot of the other pals are very unique. So I can see how they would probably have some legs to stand on against. Once again, like we mentioned last stream, a copyright strike, not strike, a copyright lawsuit. So there's that, and then there's some recent development with Monster Hunter as well. If you like the Monster Hunter franchise, I personally really like it. I have wilds and I can run wilds on my computer, but there's been a lot of optimization features or issues since it came out. A lot of people uh, cannot run Monster Hunter Wilds, and added to that, they then had an update, which is why Monster Hunter Wilds currently has a really, really big dip in negative reviews as of late. Um, so that's something that has been affecting Monster Hunter Wilds recently, and I might cover it in a video. I might work on a video to get that, uh seeing what's the drama, what is causing, what exactly has been the issue with Monster Hunter. And not only that, see, I have Monster Hunter Wilds launch data, so I should be able to see how it was when it came out, and then how it's been affected by the drama. I'm assuming we're going to see a similar behavior to what I saw with Helldivers when they got their drama with the whole PlayStation stuff. So there's definitely that, which I'm paying attention to. I know that there was, did you guys hear Silk Song is out? Those Hollow Knight, did I say that right? Yeah, Hollow Knight fans out there, you're being fed. You finally got the game you've been waiting for after 7 years, I think. I'm gonna be honest, I never finished the first one, but it doesn't change the fact that I enjoyed it. So I'm glad that those fans are getting treated well as of right now. So yeah, it exists. It's not a myth anymore. I honestly thought that they were just gonna be like, yeah, it exists, or we have a release date. It's gonna be next year, 2026. We'll see you there. And then we're just stuck holding the bag again. But I'm glad that the game is out and a lot of people can enjoy it. So yeah, I'm keeping up with some news. If you guys find out about anything or any information or any news about any games that you like me to review here live on the stream with you guys, or just look more information into, or maybe make a video in the future, let me know. I'm more than interested in this, and I could definitely look up some additional information on these stuff. So yeah, let's see. So we'll go ahead. Oh, wait a second. Here I'm seeing the chat on YouTube, and I have not been answering. Give me a sec. I have it on the broken monitor. So since I have it on the broken monitor, I could not see the text. So let me go ahead and say here. So I see Sansa Coolio right there, and I can see Avrix said hi. Uh, side chats aren't showing. I don't think it's gonna show on OBS. I don't know how to add this chat to OBS. I could definitely try. I'll have to look that up later though. Maybe I can maybe make a what you call it, a what do you call it, MacGyver my way into making this chat appear. Just give me a sec. Maybe I can make this work. Let me just I can do, where are you? Where are you? Display capture. No, not display capture. It's where is it? Game capture? No. Not media. Window capture. Okay. And we'll call this YouTube chat. YouTube chat. Let's see here. If I can, what is it on? It's this one. Oops, let's not show everything as of yet. And let me go ahead and hit OK. Let's go ahead and filter this so we can crop it. And hopefully once I am able to crop it, where are you? Crop. There we go. Okay. And let's crop this thing. So let's go ahead and let's put like 100. More. Drop it more. Too much. Let me a little bit more. I can this, let's see. I'm trying to set it up here real quick. Just give me a sec. If it works, it'll be very much band-aid fix for now, and then until I figure out how to actually get an overlay for YouTube chat. But hopefully this might work for us in the meantime. Let's see here. And let's go ahead and crop this one as well. God, this takes, why can't I just select on screen and crop it? I have to like increase the value. What do you think would be the third-party Nintendo exclusive that would best translate to PC if it happened? Interesting. The best that would translate on PC? Oh, third party, not an actual Nintendo game. Okay. So if you ask me about like an actual Nintendo game, I would definitely say I can see your message. Santa's cool. I'm about to show it on screen. Just give me a sec, because that way you guys will basically be seeing what I'm seeing. All right. So let's see if this works. Okay. Close. And now, if I zoom out real quick, find it. There it is. I can kind of keep it here. That'll work for now. It's a little bit of MacGyver solution, but it'll suffice. To answer the question, if it were a Nintendo game, I think that the best Nintendo game that would be able to be properly translated on Twitch, sorry, not Twitch, on like PC, would have to be probably Breath of the Wild or one of the, or Tears of the Kingdom. I've seen like I think who was it? It's not Doug. It's another streamer. There's a streamer, I forget their name right now, but I know that they do a lot of like modded Zelda. And if that were to be translated to PC, I feel like it would open the floodgates to a bunch more mods, and it would become the Skyrim of like Nintendo games. Point Crow, that's exactly the one. So I would definitely think it's that would be the ideal game to be able to translate over a PC. a third-party Nintendo exclusive would probably have to be. Is that like Elder Scrolls? Not Elder Scrolls. Sorry, is that like Souls-like game that's coming to Nintendo? That I believe it's an Nintendo exclusive. Is it Nintendo exclusive? Because if that is Nintendo exclusive, that's one third-party game that would work really well in console or in PC, just because it's proven to be very, very good game, and a lot of PC players love to, play with that with those games. So I would say that would be an answer there. I think you guys lost the music. Let me make sure I'm showing you the music track real quick. Where's the music? There it is. Audio track. Nope, not that's audio capture. Audio input. No, not input. What is it? What am I using for these? Give me a sec. Okay, so is it also a whatever that symbol is? What is that symbol? What is that symbol? Application audio capture. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now you guys have the music in the background. That should be nice. Yep. You guys should have the music now. But yeah. If you ask me what game I think would work really well, it's that it would be that I'll have to search what's the actual game. So let me search it up actually. Wasn't there like a Souls-like? I could have sworn there was a Souls-like that was coming only for Nintendo. Only for Nintendo. So it's Souls-like Nintendo game. Maybe that will give me like Souls-like Nintendo Switch. Dusk. I think it's this one. Duskbloods. Is that the one? I think that's the one that's like a Nintendo exclusive. That's gonna come out. Upcoming. I don't think it's released yet. Dusk. Okay, so it is Duskblood. So it's this one. Let me make sure it's not playing. Whatever. Okay, so it's this game. Duskblood. Do you not have? Oh, there's the gallery. So it's this one. It's literally just like a Dark Souls game, but apparently it's a Nintendo exclusive. So I think that would be really nice if it ever came over to PC. A lot of people would have a field day with that game. And let's see here. Oh, I have to also add the Twitch, the YouTube chat to here. So let's go ahead and add that there. There you go. The Twitch chat will probably overlay on top of this, but that's fine. We should be fine with that. Anyways, let me see what else was sent through the chat real quick. I'd probably say something like a roguelite game. There are a lot of Bloodborne 2. No, not Bloodborne 2. There are a lot of the new one is Bloodborne 2. Yes. That's the best comparison. But regarding roguelites, I love playing roguelites. But a lot of times those are indie games that are coming out on PC already. Like you can usually find those games on Steam, and they're just now pushing them to Nintendo as well, because Nintendo's trying to grow their indie game repertoire and like catalog. So that's something that they've been doing a lot recently. Also, YouTube chat doesn't come up when you have the desktop view up. Yeah, this is the one that it comes up now, so you should be able to see it without any problems. Which portable game console do you pledge your allegiance to? Portable. If we're talking about portable, I'm gonna be honest. Although I love Switch, I don't play the Switch as much because I just don't play that many Nintendo games nowadays. If I'm being completely honest, but one one portable console that I am looking forward to has to be the Ally, Rogue Ally, the Xbox Ally, Rogue Ally. That's the one. I would have to say Rogue Ally is probably the one that I want to get and try out. Even though the Steam Deck I've heard is really good, a lot of people can do a lot of stuff with it. Since it has Linux, you can do a lot more with the Steam Deck. But I would have to wait and see, basically, because I don't know if with the Steam Deck. I mean, I think the Rogue Ally is also going to be Linux based, so I think you can also manipulate it to get what you want. But what I like is I used to be, as a console, I used to play Xbox all the time. I was an Xbox girly, okay? So I wasn't PlayStation. It was always playing Xbox. I would get every single once I got a Xbox, I would get every single Halo game that came out. So that's me, Xbox girly over Xbox fan here. But we recently moved to PC, so now I'm playing more on PC, and thus the fact that the Ally Rogue allows for me to be able to kind of connect my Xbox to like Steam and all that kind of stuff. It seems like that's one of the features they're working on. Who knows? That might be another way, because I have the Game Pass, so if I can like easily translate games and have them in portable version, I think that would be great. I was gonna say either Steam Deck or Rogue Ally. Yeah, the Steam Deck or the Rogue Ally. I think those are the main competitors right now. I mean, obviously, Nintendo boys will always love any Nintendo console that comes out. So Switch 1 and now the recent Switch 2, they're gonna love it, especially because Nintendo games are you can only get them in Nintendo unless you get a ROM copy of them. So I can't blame them for that. Regardless, the two biggest competitors are not Nintendo, would have to be Steam Deck and Rogue Ally. Even though Rogue Ally, we haven't seen it come out yet. But looking at the specs that the Rogue Ally does have, I would say it's up there. It's the specs that it has gonna be really good. It should be able to run a couple really good games. It's funny because if you think about it, the PS Vita was ahead of its time. Because PS Vita was basically just a PlayStation, but portable. And people didn't give it as much attention back then as they would probably give it nowadays. My hot take, my favorite Nintendo console is the Wii U. That is a hot take. That is why the that is a hot take. Yeah. What about the Wii U? Do you think it's like the best console? I mean, I would understand if you had said the Wii. Like, the Wii is a good console. Wii U? Like, what did the Wii U add? No no offense to the Wii U or anything, but come on, like that I just gave you a drawing pad. I guess if you like drawing, or if you like that whole pseudo portability, I think it's just the Wii U was a schematic for their eventually when they got the Switch out. But the Wii U itself, I can't say it was good. Yeah, I love twirling my screen around for Mario Kart. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, what are you adding? What did it add to the Wii? The Wii was already pretty good as it is. What did the Wii U add other than like an iPad? To be fair, it did contain a TV remote inside the Wii pad. It did? It did? I'm gonna be honest. I'm giving it all flack. I didn't have a Wii U. but I had a friend who had a Wii U, and I have friends who had Wii U, and I would go to their houses. Why can't I see chat? You can see it on the screen. Can you not see chat on the screen? Should be right here. Do I need to make it bigger for you guys? I might need to make it bigger. It might be too small. Let me move Twitch over here and make this one a little bit bigger. Hopefully that way you guys can somewhat see your text, because I think it was too small. Oh, not the I have a friend excuse. Well, I mean, I did play around with it. It's not just that I had a friend, okay? I had my experiences with it, and all I remember from it was drawing. Like, a lot of people use it as a drawing pad and like coloring games and all that kind of stuff. But I don't remember it ever adding anything to the actual, experience of what a Wii was. Wii U was cool because it gave me Mewtwo for free when he released on Smash 4. Okay, there you go. What did the Wii U add? It gave you Mewtwo. If you wanted to pay, what was it? What was the difference in price between Wii U and Wii and the Wii? 300 something bucks. $300 for Mewtwo. That's a steal. That's a bargain. That's what you got. There's Nintendo Land. What is Nintendo Land? I don't remember that. Is that the? I don't know. Now unfortunately I believe that in the Nintendo DSi supremacy. I am a DSi big fan of DSi. I love the Wii. I used to play a lot of games. In fact, funnily enough, I played my first ever time playing Call of Duty Zombies was on the Wii. Funnily enough. If not, it was on the DS. Or I may be wrong on that. Maybe it was on the iPod. But regardless, I used to play a lot of iterations of Call of Duty Zombies. But I didn't have an Xbox or a console, or PC. So I couldn't really play the actual Call of Duty. So I played it the Wii version. You can imagine how much of a train wreck that was. Nintendo Land is a Wii U game exclusive game that contains many mini games. Okay. It was definitely not on the DS. Okay, so it wasn't on the DS. Then it was the Wii in that case. 3DS supremacy, actually. 3DS is, in my opinion, arguably a better DSi. I will, however, never forgive Nintendo for getting rid of Flip No Hatena. That was one of the best pastimes back in the day. Flip No Hatena, I remember spending so much time just drawing, making doodles, making animations, watching other people's animations online. Amazing. I mean, I would say it's the animation equivalent of TikTok nowadays. It was that good. I think it was on the phone for me. Call of Duty, first time you played it? Probably. So, social media for 12 years, for 12-year-olds. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. I'm telling you, it's like, it was basically, it's the TikTok before TikTok allowed longer than 1 minute videos. Like, you could not, or maybe a better definition would be the Vine of 12-year-olds. Just animation based, but like I learned a lot of like memes and stuff like that through Flip No Hatena before there was like finding it online in Twitter or anything like that. In fact, I used to use iFunny before I got into Twitter and I got into other ways of seeing social media for memes and stuff like that. Reminds me of the Let's Go Gam. Yes. The Let's Go gambling is using stick figure, and that definitely would have blown up back in the day with the Flip No Hatena. Because I don't believe I think it's a newer-ish thing. I don't think it's something that was, brought back from the past, and then recently got a lot of attention again. Then matchups were the bomb. Yes, they used to have so they used to have these music tracks back in the day that would basically summarize the most popular songs of that year. Those mashups, they would always I don't know how honestly they found out about these mashups, but they always would. There was like a DJ or something that was known to do it. But I would always find out about the new mashup through Nintendo Hatena, like a Flip no Hatena. So those mashups were amazing. I would love hearing them. Too bad they died off. I don't know what was the last year. DJ Earworm. So DJ Earworm, that's the one who was making those things. Did they stop because they just lost popularity, or is it just something, you know, it just didn't get as much traction later on, or Hatena died and so did it with it? It's like I'm talking to a live history class. I'm taking a live history class. I mean, with the professor look, even though it's supposed to be newscastery, I can definitely see it. They still make the... Oh, they do? But the problem is Pop Anthology took over. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm surprised. I haven't heard any of them, like, less, recent years. But I don't know. I don't know if this is just me moving away from radio and stuff like that. But I feel like you wouldn't be able to make as much music that would apply for everybody as back in the day. I feel like everybody knew all the popular songs that were coming out back then. But nowadays, I feel like that wouldn't... Everybody has their own taste. Everybody... Now with Spotify, everybody has their own, like, library of artists that they listen to. So I don't feel like a lot of people rely on the radio anymore for them to have very similar blown up songs. Unless memes, I guess, would be the closest, because then you have stuff like Pony Club. You have stuff like the Sabrina Carpenter songs. So I can say it in that sense. There's also SoundCloud. Yeah, there's also SoundCloud. So a lot of people can make their own thing. I stick with Spotify, but it's because I'm a slave to their Spotify wrap-ups. Even though I heard that SoundCloud also has like a yearly wrap-up thing that they use. Pink Pony Club. Thank you. Is Pop Anthology still a thing? Apparently, according to Mega Crow 122. It is, and I'm just going to take that information at face value and assume that he is correct and that they would never stray me wrong. I thought that was just 2012. I generally thought that it was 2012 to 2014 thing, lol. As one does. Yes, I blindly follow what people tell me online, because that's exactly what you should do. Okay, kids? Never look up your sources. But yeah, that's still super interesting. That's a relic of the past. I feel like we don't get we wouldn't be able to do that kind of thing nowadays. It's similar to the YouTube Rewind. We used to be able to do that back then when it was a lot more condensed, but now that everybody has like their own little corners of the internet, it's really hard for you to be able to do a proper wrap up of the entirety of a medium, I guess, because YouTube would be like video medium, but then you have music would be its other medium. Yay, spreading misinformation. We love that here. Let's go. I'm gonna chat GPT this information. Daniel Kim, the creator of Pop Anthology, retired and started making blogs, but DJ Earworm still makes yearly mashups. Okay. So Pop Anthology is not a thing, but DJ Earworm is. My whole channel is spreading misinformation. Is that where you are insinuating? We take information very seriously around here. And that's a big accusation. Ignore what I just said previously. we take information seriously here. DJ Earworm is better than Pop Dantology. Apparently, I would not be able to say whether one is better than the other, but I remember the DJ Earworms once when they were in Flip No Hatena, so I enjoyed them back then. And I didn't even remember when Pop Dentology fell off. So if that says anything, it was still a thing. I think Epic would have dominated the mashups last year, definitely. Are you sure? I mean, I know like Epic is pretty big right now, but that's like within its community, right? We know, like, I know Epic because the musical, and I love their music. It's one of the best soundtracks I've heard in recent years. But with that said, I feel like that's kind of trapped in like people who like musicals. I know a bunch of people who would not listen to or don't know that it exists. So I feel like it's if you love Epic, you're kind of in the Epic bubble. So I wouldn't say that one would definitely appear in a daily mashup. So perspective, you know. You know which one would appear in a daily mashup though? Not because I'm being biased in any way, shape, or form, but Sleep Token. That one would appear. It's growing a lot apparently in this last few months. Sleep Token mention. Epic is big, but it's not a thing the average person knows. Exactly. I'm proud to have been the middleman of sort of for the collab. Oh yeah, thank you so much for that. We already plan to play Phasmophobia and next Tuesday at around 8 p.m. I was talking to them yesterday, I think it was. So yeah, we have that collab coming up. I'm very excited that we get to play, and we'll see how it goes. We both have played Phasmophobia, but not enough where we would be experts in the game. So yeah, that's amazing, and I'm really glad that you managed to bridge that gap. Let's see what else. It's not Hamilton yet. Okay, that's referring to Epic. Yeah, Epic is still not to the acclaim that I would say, or popularity that Hamilton has, where a lot of like where a lot of the average common folk would know about it and have, even if they didn't listen to it, they knew that it existed. And they probably, due to principles, like I don't like musicals, so they didn't listen because of that. I'm pretty sure it's woke. Wait, I'm pretty sure it rock into TikTok community because maybe it's not mainstream, but definitely TikTok dominated. Well, if they made a type of like TikTok, if they made a TikTok, what is it called? There was YouTube Rewind. If they made a TikTok Rewind, then maybe it would have appeared there. I could definitely see it appearing in a TikTok Rewind. Going back to that conversation, but I doubt that that's gonna actually happen. There's too many creators in TikTok, and probably most of what you would see in TikTok Rewind would probably be something along the lines of. Oh, I just did. Give me a sec. Professionalism, guys. We love it here. Give me a sec. Okay, so you will probably see something along the lines of this. Thank you for the roses. Ooh, Galaxy. Thank you for the roses. A compilation of a bunch of people who just went NPC mode. Did you see the photos of the Pokemon World Championships about the stage that went pretty viral in TCG and esports community? I did not. Let's look that up real quick. I can look it up. Let's go back here. Let's make this shot bigger again. We're going to move this shot to the right side just so that it doesn't get in the way of the Twitch chat here. All right. So what is it? The Pokemon Stadium for what? Pokemon World Championship stage. Let's look that up real quick. Where is it? Here it is. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Let's go. So it's Pokemon World Championship 2025. Let's just go images. World Championship stage. Is this what you mean? Oh, but you can't see anything there. Give me a sec. Trying to see if this is what you mean. Open image in a new tab. There we go. Can I zoom in? Yes, I can. Is this the stadium we're talking about? You can see my undies. No, they're not my undies. They're not. I swear. They're not. Please. Please don't insinuate that. Please, it's not my undies. I swear, look. I swear, they're pajamas. I swear, see, they're long. They're not my undies. It was the first world held in an arena. Oh, I see now. I can see with a, so like what, a WWE arena or something like that? Let's see here. Funny enough, token would also be in TikTok Rewind Law. I agree. I recommend searching vids of it in X. You mean Twitter? But okay. Would be insane to see that translate to other VGS. It's a stage where they played their matches. Okay, so this is not what you mean. They're not undies. No, sorry. We're not that type of content creator. Sorry. Apparently, Pokemon card games has a mobile port now. Okay. Interesting. Let me see if I find the stage where they were playing in, because they're all just, oh, it's this one. It's this one. Open image in a new tab. There we go. This is the one you're talking about. Oh, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. But this is okay. So this is not. Well, it's a World Championship. They're just playing Pokemon. What is that MOBA Pokemon game? I always forget the name of it. Yeah, right? That actually looks really good. With the whole, like, I'm assuming, like, you can see what... Oh, you can see what Pokemon they were using, and if they were dead at the time, you can see their timer associated to their seats. That's pretty cool. It changed depending on the game. The floor was a screen that would change. That's really cool. Genuinely. Would you be able to like see like the lineup of like the Pokemon that a person had when they were playing in TCG and stuff like that? Or like maybe not TCG, but like duos, competitive stuff, that kind of stuff. Yes. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I love this concept. Having a screen in the bottom, that is really good, especially for like people who have to like sit all the way in the back over here. Like they would probably enjoy that aspect more than these guys. But they, you know, they're still close enough where, you know, it's a good trade-off. Even in TCG. Okay, that's really cool. Genuinely really cool. I would love to see that for like other games. Imagine like Dota or League of Legends having a screen in the bottom where you can use this exact same concept for them. I think that's really cool, honestly. Way to go, Pokemon. Way to go. Okay. Well, that was a neat little intro there. So let's go ahead and let's talk about some games. So my first question is there any particular game that you guys would like to for me to check to see if it exists in the gaming marketplace and we can check its performance? Or do you guys just want me to go to the patented GameStop wheel shown here with all the games that have been suggested through TikTok and like the shorts and all that kind of stuff? Pretty long list. Which one do we want? Do we have a game? The Wheel of GameStop. We have a vote for the Wheel of GameStop. Can you see Deadlock at all, considering it's still in closed beta? That's a good question. Let me actually check. So let's go ahead real quick. You guys won't be able to see this, but just give me a sec while I go look at the data on the code and all that. Let me just go here. And then here, choose. This. How long ago did it go into closed beta? When did it get released in closed beta? I have 2 deadlocks actually. I'm assuming it's this one though. Got to go. See you, Omega Crow. Thank you for coming into the stream. And I hope you enjoyed the little chat that we had there. And hope that you can tune in for the next one. I'll see you. So let's see here. I do have Deadlock. And let's see here. It's low value, but it should. I have data from it in the last, what is this? What, 30 days? Last 30 days? When did the game come out in early alpha? Let me go ahead and like actually, oh no, I closed it. No, now I gotta boot it up again. Come on, do it again, let's go. Oh, and for all these things, you can always go into the website, thegamingmarketplace.com, and you can look up some of these games yourself as well. So if you are curious about game and you want me to cover it, you'll only be able to access the last 30 days worth of data. Oh, sorry, the last 3 months worth of data for any given game. But I have the data all the way till 2024. So if I had that data longer than what is shown in the website, then we can definitely go ahead and look into that together, and you can see more of the history of that game's performance. But in regards to Deadlock, it seems like it's Deadlock all caps. So let me go ahead and look that, get the code, create it. Just go bloop, 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 bloop. Deadlock. Let's see here. Awesome. I forgot that I have to do. Get over here and run you. Okay, so now you should show me. There we go. Okay, so we do have some game information from this. It's been out for 8 months. If I had to give it a number, well, in that case, I don't have information from the 8 months. I do have it from July, and I'll show it on screen right now. Just give me a small moment. There we go. And now I should be able to just go. There you go. Here it is. Ah, great. Now the chat is covering. Let me see how I can set this up. Since currently Twitch seems to be kind of slow today, let's go ahead and put it here. Okay. So this is the data for Deadlock. As you can see, I only have like July data starting from July, but it seems like in its early alpha stage, its highest peak is 7.29. It would be right here. So 7.29 gems. And I would assume that that's it. How popular is would this game be? So let me go ahead and check. How popular are you? Let's first check how many people are streaming it. Deadlock. Has there been a lot of content about it recently? Not. I'm assuming it's not this one. I'm assuming it's not this one. Did I write it correctly? Because maybe it just doesn't appear here yet. Let's see. Instead of here, let's go ahead and SteamDB, and maybe you can tell me which one you mean. Is it this one? Is this the one you're talking about? Oh, so it's this one. I think it's the one you're talking about because it came out in August of this year. So if that's the case, I do have this one. Let me go ahead and check it out because it's not this one. This is the wrong Deadlock. It's not Deadlock with all caps. So let me go ahead and search and then like write it again so we can get the proper table on it. Although we probably would be seeing a little bit of cross contamination there, mostly because I'm assuming that a lot of people would on stuff like YouTube or Twitch, they would name it the same. Can I do it? Is it that lock altogether? Let me see. It's where are you? Where's the name? Where's the name? I'm not even seeing it. Maybe Deadlock. Okay, so let me check how I have it in the data. How do I have you in the data? Nope, not that. Where are you? I hate having. I have to have so many tabs for this to work, and that always causes me to have um so many different. It's so hard to sometimes find the exact page I'm looking for. So I'm sorry about the mess uh of data on the screen. Just give me a sec while I find the one that I have to look. Oh, okay. So it's dead and then lock. Is it this one? I don't think it's this one. I don't think I have data for Deadlock or because the Deadlock I'm seeing is not the one you're seeing on screen right now. You have like 3 different games that are called Deadlock. That's so 3 different games that are called Deadlock. Isn't Deadlock the one MOBA shooter that Valve released? Yeah. Well, I guess your RAM is getting eaten up by many tabs. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Thank God I got a computer that can handle it. But damn. But yeah, so it's not this one. So you weren't even referring to this one either. Or were you? Valve. Okay, so it is this one. This is the game you're talking about. Third person, MOBA. Yeah, this is the one. Well, unfortunately, I don't have data for this game right now. It probably is because it's an early alpha, but I don't seem to have data, or I do have data from this game, but the algorithm is confusing it because it's named the exact same like two other games. So there's Deadlock, the one from them, but then there's see. So I have these two. I don't have this one yet. You can't see. Wait a second. Wait a second. You can't see. You cannot see the other version that's right up here. But you can see the little hovering thing. So yeah, I don't have that one in particular. I have these other two. Deadlock with all caps and Deadlock with a capital L. Lock. Lovely to have 3 different games called the exact same for completely different types of games too. So that's always fun. But yeah, that's what I have. Unfortunately, do not have Deadlock itself, or at least the new one. Let's go ahead and no. I'm trying to get this one off screen. So yeah, let's see here. Oh, not what I wanted to select. Here it is. I was just curious because Valve is still not being public about it, so it makes sense. Yeah, If they're not being public about it and they're kind of withholding their own data, then yeah, that would explain why I don't have access to it yet. So that's fine. Hopefully, when the game becomes official release, because it's in alpha stage, is what you said. So maybe when it's in closed beta, yeah, maybe when it's in beta, I'll have access. Like I'll be able to access the data, and if not, then we'll have to wait for the full release for me to be able to actually incorporate that data into the marketplace. But yeah, that's perfectly fine. Worth a check. Appreciate it. No problem. All right. So in that case, if there's no other suggestions for games, let's go ahead and take a look at the Wheel of Game Stocks. Patented. You cannot copyright it, patented, trademarked, all of the above. You cannot steal it from me. Also, I need to play this playlist again because my headset just turned off because there wasn't any audio coming in. All right. There you go. So you should have some music playing in the background now. Okay. So let's go ahead and spin this wheel and see what we get. FTL, Faster Than Light. Let's go ahead and take a look at Faster Than Light. So let me just go copy, and let's put it on the thing. Here we go. Okay, I should have known that it wasn't written like that. Let me make sure I find how it's written. It's here. Faster. FTL. Faster and light. Okay, so that's how you write it. Let's copy that value and let's put it here. Okay, so now hopefully there we go. Okay, so we got this data. Let's go ahead and show it on screen. Okay, so I have it here. Let's hide the wheel and let's show the chart. There we go. So this is currently what we have for Faster Than Light. Faster Than Light, if I'm not mistaken, is this not like a flight simulator game type of thing? Like aerial combat? Is that how this one, what this game is? Let me go ahead and check. FTL Faster Than Light. Faster Than Light, there it is. Faster Than Light, what are you? Oh, it's a space game. It's a roguelike space game. Ooh. I had not heard about this game. This seems interesting. Can I see how it looks on the Steam page? No, don't install it. I want you to see it on the Steam page. Where's the button? Show me on Steam. There it is. Store. All right. Perfect. So I'm going to... Oh, no, I do not know. I do not know this game. But let me show it on screen. Because I'm currently hogging all this information. There you go. So this is Faster Than Light. It's a roguelike space game. That's really cool. And apparently, like, you make different segments of your ship, and then you have like a crew and everything you're controlling and fighting against different ships and getting stuff. Seems pretty cool, honestly. It seems like it came out, wow, 2012. It's been out for a while. It's very interesting. I think this is that game that punishes you for doing everything good you did up to the point where a ship that can counter everything you do. Also, the return on the June corruption. Yes, you are completely right. Let me do this real quick. Once again, I'm dealing with a lot of tabs here. So Yes, this is the June corruption. So this is the data, the month of June that got corrupted. This data, so I don't have any data from the month of June. And then we get our data back from starting July. So that's what Sansa School is referring to. But regardless, we do have all of this data from, well, since I started capturing data for the marketplace. So we can see a pretty general behavior of it in its last 2 years. We can see that on average, Faster Than Light has seen roughly 6.5 gems per day. That seems to be its average. It did go down in the fourth quarter of fall of 2024. It went down, and it then had an average of 4.5 gems. And this average, it seemed to have kept it all the way till, well, essentially now. It went down a little bit. It has some spikes here and there, but it went down a little bit to an average of 3.5 to 4 gems is what I'm seeing here. But still doing pretty well. Its highest peak that we were able to record was on May 9th, where it got 7.98 gems. But it has some pretty big valleys here. I think that the lowest score it has gotten so far is this one, which is 1.32 gems. Yeah, that's the lowest gem value that it has gotten in the last 2 years. Still kept a pretty consistent value all throughout. Pretty good game, especially for a game that came out in 2012. If I'm not mistaken, this is being a roguelike. I'm not surprised. I love roguelikes, so this is also maybe a game I could try out. But I've heard that Faster Than Light is complicated. If it's the game I think it is, because the gameplay looks a little bit similar. If it's what I think it is, it's a really complicated game. And from your response saying it's that game that you're doing really good until a ship comes and counters everything you're good at, yeah, it seems like that's exactly what it is. And I think it's pretty complex in how to make a good run and all that kind of stuff to learn all the game mechanics. Still, let's go ahead and look at maybe why it has the value that it has. Although it's pretty consistent, I don't see any I don't see any other than some of the valleys, I don't see any behavior that would be oh, some controversy happened here or an update happened here, clearly, because you can see this spike in players. I don't see any of that. It just seems like it's pretty steady community, niche community plays it pretty frequently. But let's see, does this niche community have a bunch of creators making content about them? Let's find out. So let's go to the research real quick. And let's go to Faster Than Light. FTL. Faster Than Light. There it is. So we have 32 the average viewers. So that's why we're seeing this dip here in July. The dip that we see, let me see if I can make this screen a little bit better here. If I can just lower, oh, not that one, not the one that I want to lower, this one. So if you look at it, you can kind of correlate the little spike that we saw in right before July. These, when was this? May 27th? Yeah, here it is. This is probably around the time we saw the spike. Here it is. For May, and then we've seen a pretty low value of viewers and streamers. Let's see the channels. Yeah, there seems like there's been a dip in people making content in the last or at least viewing the content in the last month or so. So that explains why this is slightly lower now than it was in its average. Still not that big of a difference. We're talking about 1 gem difference, which is not bad at all. the fact that it was able to keep that consistently. I remember the first ever Twitch streamer I watched within the BTD 6 category stream FTL once. I'm not surprised. Actually, I am surprised. Blooms is a pretty different game compared to FTL. They played it once, so it makes sense. So did they enjoy it, or were they like, oh, this is too complicated for me, and then just like stop playing it? Let's see the actual player counts. Yeah, it seems pretty consistent. Yeah, it seems to be getting pretty consistent values here as well. And then a little bit of like a drop here in starting July, August. So that correlates with what we're seeing. I'm pretty sure they enjoyed it. Okay, well, that's good. Well, that's honestly nice to hear. I'm glad that they enjoy it. I might enjoy it myself if I were to give it a try. But overall, I think that once again, nothing that pops out at me saying, oh, this something bad happened or something good happened recently. It just seems like it has a pretty stable and niche and a community that enjoys playing it pretty often and watching content about it. But yeah, so that's Faster Than Light. Overall, doing pretty good. So that we have covered that one. There wasn't really much news-wise to cover regarding that one. I keep closing. By instinct, I keep closing those windows. Or minimizing them, at least. Alright. So, any suggestions for you guys? Or are we going to the Wheel of Stock games again? Any suggestions? We'll give you a couple seconds so you can ponder on the idea. Jinko. Is that a game? Or is that the streamer you were watching? Could be both, honestly. I'm assuming it's a game, so let's go ahead and search. See if I find it. Jinko. Oh, it is a game. Here it is. Okay, let's see here, and let's see if I have data from it. Jinko. I do have data from it. Not sure you want to see this data. I mean, you're seeing it on screen. I'm not hiding it. Not sure you want to see this data. Let's see how Jinko's doing. Let's let me pull the graph so in a way we can take a deeper look. Let's see here. Jinko. Oh. Now let's do this and let's do that. Okay, so now I should be able to just pull it up. There you go. So this is what I have from it. And overall, it's seeing roughly 0 gems or negative gems. And if I know, Sans, you were here before, so you know that the negative value is because the game doesn't see enough traction and because you have to pay for this game. So let's go ahead and look, or because it might have like a bunch of negative reviews. So let me go ahead and check. Yeah, no, this is why. I can see it already on like SteamDB. Let me just share it for you. So this is Jinko on SteamDB. It's seeing on average like 0 players. Like we're barely seeing anybody. 1 player, maybe 4. Like that's the peak we're seeing, but on average, it's not seeing players. So that's why Jinko is pretty low. And I'm pretty sure if I search here, I don't think I'm gonna find people making content about it. Here it is. Yeah, you can already see it. 0 averages, barely anybody, zero streams in the last few. Like, that's why the game is currently where it is. How much does it cost? Is it a free game? How much do you cost? Where are you? Where's the game prices? Price history. Yeah, that's it. It's not an expensive game, and that's why it's such a small value that we're seeing, even within the negatives. But it's basically stays on 0 most of the time. Let me go back to the. There it is. So yeah, that's why this is the negative 0.03. It's not, sorry, yeah, negative 0.003. Yeah, this is just because people aren't playing it, but you have to pay $2 for it. So that's why the value is negative in this way. And then when somebody does end up playing it, you get closer to 0. A value closer to 0. Such a small value that's like a micro. So yeah, this is micro gems. Negative micro gems. But yeah, it's just not seeing that much attention right now. How old is this game? And what is it about? This is the first time I hear about it. So let me see. This is a game that came out earlier this year. Well, it came out literally just a couple months ago. So it's new. Oh. That's a little bit. I think it's an indie developer. They just announced it. It only has 40 reviews, so it's probably have they made other games? No, well, yeah, they've made Putler, and now they have Jinko. Yeah, it's just a small creator. Let's see what you wrote. Finally, this is the game I predicted the Steam keys for this. Oh, did you? That's the one you predicted it for? Recorded update. Okay. Oh, I was looking at the last recorded update. Oh, yes, I was. So it came out last year. Okay. I guess that makes more sense. So it came out last year. It just seems like it's just not a super well-known developer. And not many people have tried the game out. Unfortunately, this is the outcome for most indie developers out there. But since you got it free from Steam Key, did you enjoy it? Did you find it fun? You did? That's nice. Let me look at it at the store. Store page, just to see what type of game it is. It's arcade. Oh, is it like keep the balls from falling type of thing? This is giving phone app, like early iPod, iPhone phone games. That's what this is giving. So I definitely see how, yeah, it's one of those like high score games. So I'm not surprised. Sorry about that. I'm not surprised that it's not getting too much traction. But it has a hopefully the creator. It seems like I like the style of it though. So hopefully the creator can try out making some other games. The developer. They might be able to make a pretty good game in the future. But yeah. So that's Jinko. Unfortunately, it's 0 or negative right now. So let's go ahead. Full-fledged best followers on Jesus Christ. Yeah, just keep it banned. How do I keep you banned? You restricted. Likely ban evader. And how do I make sure you're stayed banned? Yeah. There you go. It's just another bot that went on Steam. Are they that common? Because I keep getting bots pretty often. Anyways. All right. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel once again. So let's look at the wheel and hide your choice. So now we have this array of games, this catalog of games that we're going to look at. So let's spin the wheel. Let's see what we get. Frostpunk 2. Sorry, I got ahead of it. I know. I should have waited. But Frostpunk 2. Let's go ahead and look at Frostpunk 2. Okay. So, I'm just going to copy that. And try to find data for it. Give me a sec. And there we go. We have a good amount of data for Frostpunk 2. So let's go ahead and show that on screen. There you go. So we have data basically from, I have data all the way from January of 2024. So I have the full set of data for Frostpunk 2, and seems like it has a couple of ups and downs in its history. I wonder if that's like updates that come out and stuff like that. Is it a live service game? Maybe that's why. Let's see. Frostpunk. No, not you. Oh. No. Undo. Oh. Okay. I'll have to search it again. Alright. Frostpunk 2. So for Frostpunk 2, everyone's favorite June corruption, back at it again. Yep, you can definitely see it. But that's okay. I think I feel like when we have this full set of data, like we are seeing here, not having the month of June is not necessarily, it's not such a bad thing, right? Because we have all this prior information. It only sucks when it's a game that came out in June and I don't have the data from when it came out in June, or if it's a game that I have data from, let's say came out early 2025 and I have data from them 2025, but then you see a giant gap for June. But this one seems pretty complete, all things considered. So let's see here. So it is a game that is getting updates pretty frequently from what I'm looking at. Its last update was August, like literally today, actually, 11 hours ago. Also, you should have a chat setting on all messages, since sometimes YouTube marks some legitimate messages as spam. You mean? Oh, all messages. Is that what it is? Oh, I was in top messages for some reason. Okay. And okay, so but it doesn't seem like I lost anybody's messages. No, it seems like I've seen everybody's message so far, at least right now. But thank you for that warning, so that way I can ensure I see somebody and doesn't end up going to spam for some reason. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you're seeing this thing. Can you like not show me this thing? Can you get this out? No. No, don't go to learn more. Ugh. Okay, we'll just leave that there for now. Okay. So going back at it. So Frostpunk 2 has a peak value of 20. Oh, barely 20. It says here that it's 19 gems. Is it because I'm hovering on it incorrectly? No, it is 1942 gems. 19.42 gems. So that's its peak, 19.42 gems. But overall, on average, it sees roughly 7 gems, I would say. Yeah, roughly 7 gems per day. And seeing some spikes here and there whenever they make an update, I must assume right now. Mostly because the updates seem to have release. It released on September 2024, so it's a relatively new game. And the full release date, at least. And we have I got an update recently. I want to see the patch notes. Maybe it correlates to the dates we're seeing. So looking at the patch notes real quick. Major updates. They had a major update in May. They had a major update here in May. They also had another major update in November of 2024. So that's this spike here. That's this spike here. It doesn't seem like they had a huge update in January. It just seems like there's waves of people that play it every so often. I don't know if it has cosmetics, but maybe when like new cosmetics come out and stuff like that. What about you? Frostpunk 2. This one. It's the first one. And here it is. So this is when it came out. So that correlates with the actual release. It's around this time as well. This is around the time of the actual release. And then we have different updates that came afterwards. But overall, not super high values. We see some peaks here and there, which correlates with some of the peaks we're seeing here. And then maybe some of the peaks here as well. Here's like March. But overall, what we're seeing is that the game, even though it has updates and a relatively new game, only sees around, I said, 7 gems on average, having spikes here and there whenever new updates come out. And then we have, a couple of updates here and there. But recently, it went down to 1 gem, a 1 gem score, which makes sense if we look at just the history of like how much content they've had, or at least like right now for this one in particular, it's live streams. But also if we kind of look at the player data, this is when it was released, and you can see that it has gone down since. So that's where we're currently seeing it. So the last value that Frostpunk had was 1.05 gems. That's its most recent value. Do I like chickens? Well, I don't like chickens, but my wife does. My wife likes some chickens. If this is an indie game, that is almost below minimum expectations. Yeah, this is definitely does Frostpunk is it considered an indie game? I know like Frostpunk 1 had a lot of like players and a lot of people enjoyed it. But who made Frostpunk? Like what company made it? Frostpunk 2. It's also pretty expensive. It's a it is an indie game, but it is almost $50. The game is almost $50. So that also probably doesn't help in its with its score. That it's seeing it's pretty expensive and it's not seeing high player counts. What is this? Grand strategy game, city builder strategy. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like Frostpunk is a grand strategy game, which is a pretty it's a big niche, but like there's a lot of people who play that niche. are very particular about their games. Like, you have a lot of people who love Stellaris, you have people who love the Civ genre. Don't even get me started on the Civ 7 release. A lot of people have hated that one. So there is a pretty common trend with people disliking sequels of grind strategy games. But this one was to see mostly positive. So I don't see why it would necessarily not keep its player base. But it just seems like there's just they might have gone to like play Frostpunk 1. In which case, I'm gonna go ahead and check if Frostpunk 1, if I can put it side by side, just so we can see how that looks. Frostpunk. So Frostpunk 2 versus Frostpunk 1. Okay, so I don't have all the data, but this is the data I do have. And you can already see what I suspected was the issue. So I'm gonna go ahead and show that on screen. Just give me a sec. So here, look at this. Even though Frostpunk 2 has come out, you can still see that it seems like most players decided to just play Frostpunk 1 more than Frostpunk 2. So although the game was received relatively positively, it seems like people just didn't enjoy it as much as the original one. So those, instead of playing the sequel, they're playing the first game in the franchise. And this divide in general is what's causing the sequel to have such a low value. Because if the sequel is really good, and all these players that are playing Frostpunk 1 were playing only Frostpunk 2 right now, this value would have been way higher. This gem score would have been way higher. But unfortunately, it seems like there might be some people who just weren't a big fans of it. So kind of like Crab Game thing, but both it is made by the same creator. Yeah, somewhat. So it's like, it's in general, you're never happy when your audience or like your player base is divided, right? You're never happy when that happens, because that means that, once again, first, that your sequel or whatever new game you just came out did not perform as well as you wanted it. Second, people already bought a lot of times the first one. And if people are coming back to the first one instead of playing the second one, that's less sales that the companies are also getting, or the developer, if it's an indie developer. So you always want to make sure that the first one, that the second one is as good, if not better, than the first one. So you can have that healthy swap or shift of player base. You don't really want them to be separated. What the natural thing would have been for this to be flipped, right? For the first one to still have a niche community that likes playing the original, but the second one had got more attention and did more things correctly and managed to acquire a higher audience, a bigger audience, a bigger player base, and get higher values. So it's unfortunate that to see that Frostpunk 2 is not doing as well as its original. But this is very common for grand strategy games. So I'm also not that surprised by it. Yet PopCap decided not to do that. PopCap. Is that the company that made it? Which one's PopCap? Did I miss something? Yet PopCap decided not to do that. I feel like I'm having an Unk moment, even though I'm not that old. No, PopCap is the company that made Plant vs. Zombies. Oh yeah. Yeah, so Plant vs. Zombies, I mean that one is also another game that has a lot of mixed reception, I would say. Where new games come out or they make new things regarding Plant vs. Zombies, and a lot of times they're good, but they just don't give it, for them, it doesn't meet the metrics enough, so people don't play it. Like an example of that, I hadn't mentioned it when I did the, well, I mentioned it in the comments when I did the short, but when I covered Plant vs. Zombies, I loved, I think it was Plant vs. Zombies Heroes. It was a mobile game where it was basically a card building a card building game with a very unique play style, and I really enjoyed it. Very akin to, like, I guess Hearthstone. It was like the closest thing I would compare it to, and I really enjoyed it. I used to play with my friends in high school a lot, but then they just stopped supporting it. They stopped balancing it. They stopped supporting things, and let it die when it could have been like its own niche community. But I'm not surprised. I mean, remember, Plant vs. Zombies has been acquired. Isn't Plant vs. Zombies by EA now as well? Wasn't Plant vs. Zombies acquired by EA? Yet Plant vs. Zombies 3 hasn't come out yet. And it probably won't even come out. The new Plant vs. Zombies that's coming out is a remastered. It's another remastered of the game. It's not yeah, it's not a new one. PvZ was acquired by EA. Oh, so it's just Plant Garden Warfare that was acquired by EA. The rest of the Plant vs. Zombies genres, like the rest of them are. Oh yeah, this is a trailer that came out not too long ago. It's gonna release in October. See, so Replanted. They're just making. Look, it's acquired by EA too, so they're just making remastered versions of the original game now. They don't even try to make another sequel, even though Plant vs. Zombies 2 wasn't received badly either. I liked both Plant vs. Zombies 1 and Plant vs. Zombies 2. So, you know. Also, Replanted won't have microtransactions. That's true because it's not a mobile game. That's one of its well, it's supposed to be one of its highlights. It's that it's not gonna have it, but that's a big thing because once again, EA is involved, and we all know how infamous EA is. So I'm not surprised if EA has been the reason why a lot of the games that Plant vs. Zombies has come out, even the ones that people enjoy, have been, kind of cut or killed on arrival. Has been killed on arrival. I'm not surprised by that at all. I'm not a huge fan of EA, and how they've been running a lot of their games, and I'm sure most people aren't. But with that said, so yeah, so like you said, I mean, I haven't checked like Plant vs. Zombies and Plant vs. Zombies 2, like comparing them to each other. But regardless, once again, this is not what you would want. What you would want is for people to play the sequel and leave the prequel. And seeing that be the other way around shows that you're doing something wrong. That you did something wrong with the sequel, or you didn't meet fans' expectations. Because for a sequel to be successful or like, popular, you would need the sequel to be to come out and cater to all the fans that already play your original game. So you have to make it something that your fans would love, but at the same time make it something that new people could come in and join, right? So like I think that the best example of it done correctly is the Monster Hunter genre. So Monster Hunter used to be a DS game and all this kind of stuff. It was a pretty niche community, pretty niche a group of people that played Monster Hunter games. And then eventually they took out Worlds, which was the first time that they were catering to a bigger audience. And what they did is they kept a lot of things that the original fans would love, the essence of Monster Hunter, but also allowed new mechanics or made some changes that would allow new people to join in to the community and integrate themselves to this new franchise. And that's what people should strive for whenever they create a sequel of any of their games. It's unfortunate that it doesn't, sometimes it's a gamble and it doesn't always play out that well. Yeah, they're making the original Plant vs. Zombies on mobile bad with less lawn mowers and paying to speed things up. Yep. It's because of money. That's why we don't like EA's way of managing games. It's all money in the end of the day. So if they're not getting any money, you're out. You're out. If you're not making money, I don't want you here. Right? Or make sure you make other ways so I can make money. So yeah, it's very unfortunate. But with that said, now that I have Frostpunk and Frostpunk 1 and 2 here, Frostpunk 1 last value was 3.56 gems, while 3.59 gems, while Frostpunk 2 is at 1.05. Once again, not necessarily doing bad, but definitely not where you wanna be. You would hope that it at some point makes an update or something that manages to pull it beyond the first game. But as a niche game, niche genre, which is the grand strategy genre, and in the game that it is, I think that, you know, once again, you do expect it to be from the 1 to 100 range, and in this case, it's closer to 1. Even though I heard of Frostpunk and I would have expected the IP and the name to have garnered it a higher value. So yeah, that's Frostpunk 2 and 1. So... I love Risk of Rain music. So good. Such good background music. I don't know if you can hear the guitar that well, but I love it. Okay. So looking again at this, let me hide that. Alright, so any other game you would like to cover before I spin the wheel? Any suggestions? Anybody out there? Screaming to the void. Any games? You? I see you roaming there. What is your game? What is the game that you want? Everybody has a game. Everybody has something they want to learn. What is your game? Look into your soul and tell me, what game do you want me to cover? I'll be waiting. Don't worry. I'm going to time you. Monster Hunter. Hello, Iram Gonzalez, and welcome to the stream. I knew there was a lurker somewhere around there. I knew there was somebody. And thank you. I timed you. It took you roughly 2 minutes to come up with an answer, but let's go ahead and look at Monster Hunter since I was talking about it literally not too long ago. Not very original of you, but I get it. You know, it works. So we'll go ahead and look at Monster Hunter. Let's see here. Monster Hunter. Let's see which one in particular. I guess I have Worlds. I have both. I have the 3 Worlds, Rise, and Wilds. Yay, shouting pow possibly. Who knows? Maybe they'll talk more on stream. All right, so let me, which of the 3, I guess since you want to see their performance, I'm assuming you mean the most recent one. So let's go ahead and check what I have for Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds. Let's see if I wrote it correctly. I did not. Let me find it. Let me find it. So Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter. No, not Monster Prom, even though I love Monster Prom. No, Monster Hunter Wild. There it is. So this is how I have to write it. Let's see at the most recent value. Plop. Okay, there we go. So let's get that. And where are you? Alright, so let me show it on the screen. Alright, so this game came out this year. This is Wilds. Let me just make it so that you can see since it came out. So on release, Monster Hunter Wild saw a value of 337.59 gems. Oh, yes, and then could you compare it to the previous ones? I can definitely do that. I can put the other ones as well. But Monster Hunter Wilds has a peak value of 337 gems, which is really good. And I'm a big Monster Hunter fan. If you can't tell by the little figure I have there, that's from Wild. That's a figure from can't believe I forgot their name. I love them. But I forgot the name of the monster. I feel ashamed that I forgot it. Also, there's some figures here in the bottom from Monster Hunter as well. So I can show you those later. But regardless, really big Monster Hunter head, and I'm not surprised that it did really well on launch. But we have been seeing that decline that I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. There has been a lot of backlash in recent days, recent weeks, and it has been going down. And now it's all the way down to 26. It has an average right now of 27 gems per day, but its most recent value was 26.75 gems. So that's Monster Hunter Wilds. Now let me go ahead and try to get the other monsters so we can see how they're comparing. If people are playing Worlds and Rise more than Wilds right now. So let's go ahead and look at that. So if I look up for, I just gotta find it. So if I look up for Monster Hunter, so go ahead and, okay, so Monster Hunter World is written in this way. Let me get that, copy. Let's add you. Monster Hunter World, I need to put it on quotation marks. And then let's put Rise as well. Just keep in mind that Rise doesn't have as good values as Worlds, mostly because Rise came out for the Switch first and it had a delayed launch on PC. And that affected its score, at least early on. Let's see here. So how do I name Monster Hunter Rise so that it doesn't scream at me and say that it doesn't exist? Monster Hunter Rise. They all have a different way of writing it. God damn. So this is how you write Monster Hunter Rise. All caps. Alright. So that should work. And there we go. We have all three games side by side. Let me go ahead and show this on screen. So I'm not showing on the screen. Give me a sec. There you go. So this is the data for Monster Hunter Wilds, Worlds, and Rise, or Worlds, Rise, and Wilds. So if we go look at since Rise was, oh, actually, we can already see one big difference. Wilds on release reached 337 gems, but Worlds had reached 607 gems. And this wasn't even on release. This is just like on that year because Worlds is older than 2024. So that's already a pretty big discrepancy we're seeing there. So that's something to keep an eye on. And I can only imagine that on release it had a higher value than this. Even though it went down, we can now compare it here to. Let's keep it here, and let me just lower the. There you go. All right. So that being said, this is not super bad, considering that it seems like it's still evenly split between Monster Hunter Worlds and Monster Hunter Wilds. Because if you look here, Monster Hunter Wilds sees roughly 27, and it has a spike of like 31 there, but around 27 gems. Meanwhile, Monster Hunter Worlds has around 24 gem average. 24, 25 gem average. So that's not too big of a difference. Wilds is technically still doing better than Worlds right now, which is pretty nice. That's good to see. And meanwhile, the worst contender here is Rise. Once again, I'm not surprised of Rise. Rise did not get as much, I guess, love from console players because it came out on Switch first. And when it eventually came out on console, it just, there wasn't, people already knew the game. It didn't have like that much hype on release. To consoles, a lot of people who wanted to play Rise already had started playing it on Switch. So that's why we see that discrepancy there. But overall, it's very interesting to see that Monster Hunter Rise is the lowest one, which is what I expected. And then up above that is Monster Hunter Worlds with currently with 24.69 gems. And Monster Hunter Wilds is top right now with 26.75 gems. And I didn't say Rise, but Rise has 7.53 gems. So a pretty noticeable difference between those games. But yeah, this is Monster Hunter. This is what I expected from Frostpunk, right? I would have hoped that the discrepancy is even more noticeable between Wilds and Worlds, but with the current backlash that Wilds has been getting, I'm not surprised that it's now, leveled and in the same line as Worlds, because a lot of people with the backlash from Wilds, or the fact they couldn't even run Wilds in the first place, is the reason why a lot of people just kept on playing Worlds to scratch that Monster Hunter itch, which is also my theory on why the release value is so much lower than Monster Hunter World. Like Monster Hunter Rise Wild should have had such a higher release value, but it didn't get it because people just couldn't play it. Why couldn't people play Wilds? So the reason why people couldn't play Wilds is because the game was not fully optimized. So unless you had a good computer with like nearly like the most recent graphics cards and like the most recent specs, if you tried to play Monster Hunter Wilds, it would just look like a potato. And if it didn't look like a potato, you would just have a laggy mess. It would not be able to your computers would not be able to handle the game. And so much so that they had released a benchmark test like app on Steam for you to run that benchmark to see if you could even run Wilds in the first place. So that sucked for a lot of players that really wanted to play Monster Hunter Wilds, but couldn't because their computer just couldn't handle it. So they had to wait for like the console releases for Monster Hunter Wilds, which have run well, but they're just not as good performance as like the PC players. Players like me, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Idam. Optimization was actually horrid through the beta too. So when the game came out in the same state, it robbed a lot of people in the wrong way. Exactly. The beta there was a lot of issues that people didn't notice in the beta, and when the game came out, they didn't really address those issues. They did address some, but they didn't address the major issues. And that's that high intensity, like that high need for specs for those high values was something that really, ruined it for a lot of people just because they couldn't play it. It's as simple as that. So honestly, my theory is that giant gap in performances between Monster Hunter Worlds and Monster Hunter Wilds is that reasoning. It's that. I never even played any of the Monster Hunter games, unfortunately. And honestly, if your computer can handle it, Monster Hunter Wilds is a really fun game. And if you don't encounter a lot of the issues, because another issue, one of the recent controversies with Wilds is that they did an anti-cheat update. Like they added anti-cheat into the game. And what that ended up doing is that it ended up making the game even more unplayable for a lot of people. So the game would just crash on them randomly, or would just like not work for them. It would cause a lot more performance issues again because they added anti-cheat into the game. So once again, making it less possible for people to play their game. But if you can't handle it with a newer computer, my suggestion is for you to start playing with Worlds. I think Monster Hunter Worlds is a really good entry point into the Monster Hunter franchise. Worlds and Wilds are the most beginner-friendly games in the franchise if you're interested. Yeah, like Suri said. So, yeah, that's the difference between Monster Hunter Worlds, Wilds, and Rise. I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of Rise, so I'm definitely Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Wilds is what I would say some of the better ones. So yeah, so that's their performance. It sucks to see. I plan on making a video hopefully soon enough talking about all that, all the drama that we're currently seeing with Monster Hunter Wilds, and maybe highlight that this difference that I just mentioned here, where their values are pretty different, and the reasoning behind it. So yeah. Okay. With that said, I believe we have time for one other game. So, what other game do you guys want me to cover? What last game do you want me to cover? Or do we just want to spin the wheel one last time? So, any suggestions? Rochidia says Monkey Balls over on Twitch, and then we have somebody saying Guilty Gear. Suri says Guilty Gear on on YouTube, and we have Sans of School saying one last wheel spin. So I'm gonna do Guilty Gear. Oh, wait, did Lucy? Is it Lucy? Yeah, Lucy come out on Guilty Gear. If it came out today, I won't be able to see the difference in data till tomorrow. But that's awesome. I love the fact that they released Lucy into yeah. So I guess we'll discard Guilty Gear as an option for now. Maybe on the next stream next week we can take a look at Guilty Gear. But let's go ahead. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a wheel spin. But actually, since it's just two choices, let's do a coin flip. Coin flip. Okay, so we're gonna ignore this one. So, which one wants heads and which one wants tails? Who? Monkey Ball, Rochi. What side of the coin do you want? Heads or tails? Tails. Oh, both of you said tails, but we'll go with tails for Monkey Ball, and we'll go heads for spinning the wheel overall. So let's go ahead and flip the coin. Let's see what we get. We got tails, so let's see if I have. Let's first check if I even have Monkey Balls data, and if I do, we'll go ahead and take a look at it. So let me go ahead checking that. Let's see here. So if we look at Monkey Balls, no, not that type of Monkey Balls. Thank you. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Mania, and Blitz HD. Which one came out more recently? Let's look at the more recent one. So I'm assuming it's Blitz HD. So let me go ahead and check. So Super Monkey. Super Monkey Blitz HD. I like that me and the person on Twitch said Tails at the same time, looking at chat section without any coordination. Yeah, you both did say it at the same time, which is really funny. But unfortunately, Monkey Balls gets the win there. I have Monkey Balls, but it doesn't seem like really good values. I don't know why, but these are the two Monkey Balls that I have. Hey, you got somebody. They're saying you guys are soulmates. Let's see here. Let's see here. That's peak. All right. I'm gonna see if I have more data. If I were to go ahead and search it up directly on the data that I have. That's only 3 months. Let's see here. Super Monkey Balls. Let's go with Blitz Mania for now. Wait, no, for Banana Mania. Banana Mania, and let's see what I get. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I mean, it's not amazing values that I'm seeing. So I'm gonna put the other one as well, just so we can compare them to each other. So let's do that. Super Monkey. Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz. Go. Let's add that. Here it is, and let's go. Let's see here. Not much of a difference, but I'll show you what I have. Also, after this stream, you all should look at the peak video he made about how he explains how Roblox devs take from popular devs. I probably shouldn't have read the entire thing, but thank you so much for telling people to promoting the video for them to watch the video. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me show that on screen. So in regards to monkey balls, I unfortunately don't know that much about monkey balls. I know about super monkey ball, but not monkey balls. So let's look at super monkey balls. And even then, I don't have that much data from super monkey balls. So unfortunately, this is what I'm seeing right now, which is pretty much negative values. And it only goes into the positives. Like super monkey ball banana mania goes into the positives, but very low value overall. Yeah, the highest value it got was 0.0017 gems. That seems to be, and then the other one just kind of stayed, that hasn't been able to get out of the negative values. It's 0.0029, negative 0.0029 gems. So we'll take a look at their performance on Steam and Twitch, so that way we can get a better idea of maybe why their value is so low, especially for monkey balls. I really like monkey balls. I'm surprised that it's such a low value. So let's go with, I really like super monkey balls, not monkey balls. Okay, super monkey balls the game. That's what I like. I'm not gonna let you clip this out of context. So super monkey balls. Super monkey balls. How are they performing? Let's see here. Banana. So here's Banana Blitz. And where's Banana Mania? Banana Mania. So Banana Mania, let me show it on screen. So the thing is, Banana Mania is not seeing that many viewers overall. barely any viewers and barely any channels as well covering the game. It seems like most people cover not these games, but like the original ones. It seems like more people cover the original Super Monkey Balls instead of uh, the Banana Mania or Banana Blitz. But yeah, Banana Mania not seeing that many viewers overall, and then Blitz is not seeing better performance in, either. At least that's in regards to Twitch and how much attraction is getting there. But as far as Steam goes, maybe I could just search Banana Mania and it'll, yep, okay, so that's easier. Yep, we're seeing an average player count of like there's 5 and an average player count of like what 10 people on average. So that's more like 7 people on average is what we're seeing here. And then if we look at what is the other one called? Banana Blitz. Blitz, is that how it was? Yeah. Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz. Same thing, even worse. It just barely seeing any players. So that's it. So the franchise in itself is pretty popular, but they're not playing these games. And it seems like the games they are playing is like the original Super Monkey Balls. But I believe that in order for them to play the original Super Monkey Balls, that's not in. Yeah, it's Super Monkey Balls is not in Steam right now. I believe that the way they play Super Monkey Balls is like through an emulator, like the original ones. Yeah, let me do a quick research here. Super Monkey Balls. How to play Super Balls. Da, 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 da. Yeah, the people are complaining. Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz is awful. It's pretty awful to play on a Wii, but HD version is honestly pretty fun. So it just seems like people just go to play it through a ROM because Super Monkey Ball is originally from, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's correct, originally from GameCube, if I'm not mistaken. So this is not surprising in that sense. It doesn't seem like people like the Banana Mania or the Blitz HD versions of the game. Yep, GameCube. So yeah, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now. And so yeah, so that's Monkey Balls, and it's kind of sad that that's the game we're seeing is that performance. So just because unfortunately Monkey Balls is are sad right now, the monkeys have lost their balls. We're gonna go ahead and look at another game. So let's look at another game, and this time we're gonna spin the wheel to look at one more game before we leave. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and look at, where's the wheel? One last look at the wheel of GameStop games. Let's go ahead and spin it. So Santa School, you still got your wheel spin. You both won. Everybody wins here. One more spin. And we're looking at State of Decay. So let's go ahead and take a look at that game. I played State of Decay 2, and I really enjoyed it. I used to play it on the Xbox. Pretty fun game. Honestly, as a pretty unique concept for a zombie genre, like a whole managing your own, I guess, survival camp, and like managing different people, being able to play as different people. They all have their different stats, the different things they're good at, and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. I made a mistake when writing it. It's one of those cases where it's case sensitive. So give me a sec while I find out what's the actual wording that I have. Case sensitive stuff. So let's go ahead and look at State of Decay 2. Oh, okay, because State of Decay 2 now it's called State of Decay 2 Juggernaut Edition. That's why. It's no longer just called State of Decay 2. So let me go ahead and write that down. Oh, I know. There we go. That should work. Perfect. Let me put that up on screen. Put that up on screen. And let's show that up there. So this is State of Decay 2. So just looking at it very top view of it, we can see that in the beginning of 2024, it had an average of around 5 gems. Yeah, 5 gems on average. Then it had a spike on late actually summer of 2024 where it saw 17.8 gems, and then went down after that back to its 5 gem average until eventually started getting more traction. And then we see the spike here on March of 2025, March of this year, where it got 29.3 gems, and that's currently the highest value gem score that it's gotten as of recording this data and capturing this data. So it has a peak of 29.30 30 gems, and it has gone down since then, back down to a lower average, back down to 2.6 gems. So that's currently its most recent value is 2.62 gems. Pretty good performance, except this drop off. So let's see why State of Decay is seeing such low performance recently. I see a trend. I've been noticing a trend recently where a lot of games, I don't know if it's because a lot of new games have been coming out that have been getting all the attention, but it seems like a lot of games have recently, in recent weeks, had less player count. It could also be summertime because people go out and play and they like travel and all that kind of stuff. So that could also affect the amount of people that are playing these games. But yeah, it's a recent trend I've been noticing, and this follows exactly that trend. But let's go ahead and look at the some of the research on the game. So let's go with State of Decay. State of Decay 2. And if we take a look at State of Decay 2, yeah, it's not seeing super hot numbers. Seeing roughly an average of like, it has a spike every now and then, but it's seeing an average of like 50 viewers and an average of like, well, channels don't matter as much, but an average of like 18 channels covering content, like 20 channels per day covering content of State of Decay 2. But if we look at if we take a look, oh, did I close the SteamDB? I closed the SteamDB again. So if we take a look at State of Decay 2, we can see that, oh, I gotta go to shorts. Yeah, we can see a similar behavior here. So we see that January's that spike, like early 2025, and then we see that it just goes down from then. Here's this spike that we saw here in May. Yeah, this spike right here, and then it just mellowed down. It just keeps getting less and less players over time, seeing roughly 1,000 players per day. So, although this is a really popular game, or at least I would consider a really popular game, I really enjoyed State of Decay. It has been some time since it came out. This one in particular came in 2020. I Although it seems like they updated recently. It The most recent major update was on October of last year. So I think that explains no October would be sometime around here. So I guess this spike here would be the equivalent to that October uh, major update, but it just doesn't seem like it has been getting that much uh, like a love recently, and that major updates recently. So the game is slowly but surely losing traction, and less people are playing it, which is why once again we're seeing this downfall in its gem score that we're seeing here, like overall trending downwards. So yeah, but I think State of Decay is a really fun game nonetheless. I really enjoy State of Decay too. So if you like the zombie genre, I would definitely consider you to play State of Decay. It's that survival and zombie genre is I really enjoy it, and State of Decay 2 does a really good job. Um, it's a really fun game. But overall, that's its performance right now. Who knows? Maybe if you decide to play it, you can increase its value. But overall, or if you like make videos online, like on YouTube, or if you do content on Twitch about it, you might see this value go up. But right now, that's where it stands. Currently has, once again, its last value was 2.66. So that's State of Decay. Now I'm gonna spend most of my morning to timestamp this stream. Well, I mean, you don't have to, but I'm very grateful that you do. Is what I'm gonna say. Um, but you sincerely, you don't have to if you don't have the time or if you don't want to. But I'm very appreciative, nonetheless. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna make an attempt to see if I can like do a raid this time around. Let's see if I can actually do that because I have no idea how to do it. I'm still learning. So let's go ahead and see if I find if I can like do the whole raid thing. Let's see, how do I do it? Stream manager, raid, raid. Oh, don't want to hear myself. Don't want to hear myself. Oh, why are you doing this? Uh-huh. Can I not do that? Okay, here it is. All right, so I don't know. Oh, nice. So Indominus Warfare is currently live. He's the person that I'm gonna be doing a collab stream next week, next Tuesday. So let's go ahead and raid him real quick, and we'll just call it that. And for the people who are watching from YouTube, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. So I see you then. Let me do that. Bloop. Start it. Okay, so can't rate. We tried. So we'll just end it there. So we'll just end it there. I don't know why sometimes I can or can't rate. That's probably settings that people have, so people can't do it. But we'll leave it there for now. And I love you guys. See you guys next time. See you next week. Bye.